Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Man City have just beat Chelsea 2-0 in the Carabao Cup. The Carabao Cup is ours. We're coming back for it. None of that nonsense about throwing it away. City tonight are through, as we should be. Honestly, that's our trophy. That's our bread and butter, that, man. None of that stuff where we just let everyone else have it. I really, really want City to go all the way this year and win it. And we are through 2-0 after a very fun performance. It's a really fun game of football, that, honestly. I enjoyed it. It's exactly what a game of football like this should be, man. It should be. It should be entertaining. It should be interesting. And that's all it should be. And it was. And ultimately, we are through to the next round. I would say, if you don't mind supporting my channel, please do download OneFootball right now. Click that like button. Also, then download OneFootball. It is the best football app on the market. You can get all your stats and information from across the world of football. And all the stats from that game tonight. And, of course, keep up to date with all Alvarez's and Haaland's wonderful stats. And, of course, the transfer news, the gossip, the breaking news, all the big stories from the world of football. And it does help support my channel too. So while you're down there, liking that video and subscribing, you'll see it. Download OneFootball, get it on your phone for the big price of nothing. 0, 0, 0. Do it right now. It's beautiful. I promise you. So that was fun. That was fun. I really enjoyed that game of football. I mean, all you can really ask for, honestly, in a game like this is that the players turn up, they do their job, and we get through this, hopefully, while enjoying it at the same time. And to me, that is what I saw. I enjoyed that Manchester City performance. It wasn't a classic, but there was plenty of entertaining moments. Like, what I always look for like that is like just to see some bits where some players have stood out or made a name for themselves. And tonight we saw a little bit of that. Thank you, Richard. Richard likes the glasses. They're new glasses, these ones. I thought I'd go for the clear frames. What's the verdict? You know, are they all right? I'll bring you back over to the big video again. Yeah, what's the verdict on the glasses? I like them personally. I thought something a little bit different. But cheers anyway. Yeah, but what you're looking for on a night like this is some interesting stories, you know. Some moments that will make players sit up and be more respected, or the manager take notice. And I think this was very much Ortega's night. It really was Ortega's night. Of course, as well, Hella with a super chat. Thank you so much, Hella, saying we have a keeper capable of monster performances. I will get on to him very, very, very soon. Richard also as well. Thank you for the membership. Says Alvarez passing plus Ortega, shot stopping equals plus Grealish. Wonderful, indeed, man, indeed. But let's get on to this comment from Hella. Yeah, definitely, man. Like, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Ortega tonight put a really impressive performance in. Quite poignantly at one point, the camera cut to Ederson sat on the bench as if to say, "A penny for your thoughts, Mr. Ederson Mahrez." And rightfully so, because I think it's very well documented that Ederson's not quite been in his best form for the past year or so. I don't think he's been as bad as some people made on, and the stats show that he hasn't been that bad either. I did have that goalkeeper expert on my channel, don't forget, in the summer with that fascinating video of the flies knocking about up here. By the way, I'm in the attic, so it's the highest point in the house, and they just come up here and get stuck here. It's very annoying. I need some more strips things. But yeah, I had that goalkeeper analyst on the channel, and he did point out that Ortega is a very above average shot stopper, and possibly better than Ederson at shot stopping. Of course, Ederson is better with the ball at his feet, generally speaking. Trying to fight a fly here on the video. There you go. Fuck it. That's like Alvarez, man. I know how people feel now when you got Alvarez there just buzzing around you. It's like these flies right now going around my big ring light thing, as you can see in my glasses. But yeah, I thought Ortega was fantastic, man. I thought he was fantastic tonight. The diversity of his saves, when to spread, when to go in with his feet, and all that kind of stuff was absolutely wonderful. Brilliant. And given the fact that we got him on a free transfer as well, fuck me, people time and time again doubt Cheeky and co, but they know how to spot a good player. Like, when are we going to stop pretending that they aren't brilliant at their jobs? We know they are brilliant at their jobs. They are. They're wonderful. And here's another good example of what we've got. A monstrous keeper doing monstrous things. And Ederson is going to be number one. Guardiola isn't going to drop him just like that. But it's probably fair to say that, you know, he's just been told to up his game a little bit by Stefan Ortega. Ortega's there, will breathe down his neck and show that he's good enough to be a Manchester City number one, potentially, and he's good enough to be a high-level Premier League goalkeeper. And that isn't an exaggeration. So, Ortega tonight, wonderful, and I think players like him with the experience that he's got. Well, I'm glad that he's had that night tonight, because the more players that play the way to the form and more players that show how good they can be, well, yeah, the better Manchester City going to be. I don't think it's a stretch, by the way, either, to say that, yeah, I think Ederson might have let one or two of those chances in tonight. He probably would have. I think that's probably fair, you know. Ederson's, I love him. I love Eddie, but every now and then he can let the odd shots, you know, slip by him. But that was fun. That was fun. I don't think either, as well. I don't think that was the only performance as well. I think there was other ones where, you know, the other ones that stood out, in particular for me, Jack Grealish. Grealish, I did a thread. Has anyone noticed the thread I did yesterday about Jack Grealish, which I didn't. I'm blessed to have a lot of Twitter followers, and I'm very grateful for everyone who likes the tweets and shares and all that kind of stuff. Genuinely, I find it mad that anyone gets the slightest interest in what I have to say, so thank you. But I did a thread yesterday, and it sort of went mini viral about Grealish, and I tried to talk about how I felt about Grealish for a while, because I get on these videos, people want to talk about Grealish a lot, because of course the money that that we pay for him and so on, and people get frustrated by him. And the crux of my thread was that I do think sometimes he pays far too much attention to what people expect him to be, and he needs to be a little bit more aggressive and remember why he's a Manchester City player in the first place. And I sort of know that he does pay attention to social media and stuff like that. I've heard rumours about it. There's no crime in that at all. But I think he's a soft lad, actually, Jack Grealish. I think he's a lovely lad, and I do think he gets probably a little bit in his own head of it. I could be wrong there, but it's just my guess, because he seems like he's a thinker, And as a result of that, he can maybe be a little bit deferential to his teammates. But tonight as well, he got to play in a role that I think really suited him. Like, Grealish, to me, has never been a wide left winger. He's the kind of winger that's allowed to drift in field and create more centrally and affect the game for those kind of inside left kind of channels. The number 8 role, basically. He starts out as a winger and drifts to the number 8 role. And tonight he was allowed to do that simply because the fullbacks were allowed to stay wide, which is not a very Manchester City thing these days. And as a result of that, it played into Ortega's hand to overlap. Not Ortega, sorry. Gomez's hands to overlap, and he played into Grealish's hands to cut inside, and I think it helped Mahrez a little bit as well, because Rico Lewis is going outside of him. I think in general, it just sort of played to the player's strengths a little bit more, and I think Guardiola might have to be... Oh, did he get it? I think I got the fly. No, fucking didn't. Oh, never mind. Pathetic. Yeah, but in general, I do think Guardiola, when he's playing the team like this with a lot of changes, he probably is wise to let a couple of the players play their natural game just to help them get their momentum. And Grealish tonight, I thought, was brilliant. The way that he drove aggressively through the middle. I can't believe he didn't score. So many chances, but some very good saves from the absolute man-mountain in goal, Mendy. But he was good. He was really good. He was creative. He was lively. He was aggressive. He was causing all kinds of havoc. And other than maybe Ortega, he would have been man of the match. I think he might have won man of the match with the commentary, but Man City gave Ortega man of the match. Either way, I thought Grealish was fantastic. But that's what we want to see from Grealish all the time. And it's why I've always defended Grealish, because I don't think we play him to the best of his strengths. I do think Jack Grealish is more of a midfielder than a winger. Maybe nominally out on the wing, but drifting inside. I think Sami Nasri reminds me of Nasri that way. Nasri used to play on the left for Man City, but he'd do all his best work drifting inside as Kolarov or Clichy overlapped, and that was always the thing. And Nasri was great, kind of cutting inside from the left or playing on the right every now and then, but in this instance, cutting inside. And I think that's what Grealish he's at his best at, when he's allowed to affect the game centrally. I would love to see him one day maybe as a midfielder, and I would love to see him centrally with Foden out on the left, because I think that would work really nicely, those two linking up. But either way, yeah, it worked, basically. It worked. Alvarez also was excellent. How many centre-forwards will you see ping a perfect pass like that over to the other side of the pitch? Alvarez basically made his goal, in my opinion, by... He basically made his goal with that cross-field pass when he pinged it over to Mahrez, and then it was alert and alive and aggressive enough to get on the other side to save the rebound, to get the rebound. It was lovely stuff. I mean, that to me is desire, it's hunger, and it's deserved. Alvarez is a fantastic footballer, man, and I think we're really blessed like that. He's basically got, Alvarez is more or less a goal-a-game player now. He's playing regularly. And that's our backup striker, a goal-a-game player, basically. I know he hasn't got that yet, but if he did play it, if he played 90 minutes every week, I'm almost certain he's scoring more or less every week. And our main striker was on the bench. He's like a goal and a half a game striker. So it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy, the level of players that we've got, the forward line. We've massively upgraded our clinicalness in front of goal this season. And we may have lost a little bit of pace that wide with Sterling going, but with what we've gained, though, through the centre, is we're so much more clinical in front of goal, and it's just wonderful. I love it. I think Alvarez is a brilliant player. I think the intelligence to his game, the versatility, the confidence that he's shown at the moment. It's almost unfair that he has Haaland in front of him, and I would love to see him play a game alongside Haaland a little bit more. I think he thrives off the chaos that Haaland would bring and the bit of space that we get playing in that side. But yeah, he's brilliant. JH plays. Would I consider Ortega for the weekend? I mean, I would if it was a meritocracy, but right now I don't think it is. Guardiola's not going to drop Ederson right now. There's no chance. There is absolutely no chance. If Ederson has a couple of bad games, though, where there's obvious clangers, and I don't mean like a shot like maybe you could have saved that. Like, I mean obvious clangers, because to get dropped as a number one goalkeeper, you have to have a real bad patch, because it's just how it works at goalkeepers and managers. And you've also got to understand how much Guardiola values what Ederson does with the ball at his feet. You know, I know that sounds crazy given the fact that he's a goalkeeper, but we've all watched Manchester City for long enough now to understand just what Guardiola wants from players. And what he wants from Ederson, goalkeepers, is to be wonderful on the ball. Ortega's good on the ball, by the way. He's good. But Ederson's wonderful, and I think that for now slightly pips him. But maybe he will break into the team, and if he does, I don't mind, because I love them both, and they're both brilliant players. Rico Lewis as well, and Cole Palmer blending in. I'm very happy about that. I thought Palmer did have a great game, but I thought he had a decent game playing midfield. You know. I think he was absolutely fine, not wonderful or anything like that, but I was just happy to see him play yet again through the middle, and get 90 minutes on the pitch. I think Cole Palmer is a right winger, and I think his best football is going to be on the right wing. And he did make the odd mistake here and there when he was caught on the ball, because he's not used to playing the game with a 360 circle around him. He's been so used to that 180 circle where he's hugging the touchline, and he's only got a focus on the left hand side of him, that I do think he gets slightly caught on the ball every now and then. But there was some lovely little bits of link-up play with some of the players centrally, and he didn't look out of place. He didn't look out of place. Maybe not incredible, but he wasn't bad by any stretch. And that Chelsea side today, that's a Premier League quality. I know they've rested a few players, but that's still a upper mid-table Premier League team, That's still a European challenging Chelsea side. And Rico Lewis and Cole Palmer, they blended in, man. They blended in, and they are Manchester City fans and academy prospects. And that, to me, is a wonderful bit of news. Rico Lewis is excellent. Oh, he's a little bit quieter than he was against Sevilla, but he still showed that he's more than good enough. He's absolutely not a liability, He got turned by Hall at one point, but there's no shame in that. But he's obviously good enough to be a squad player already, as is Cole Palmer. We've got two squad players from our academy for the big cost of absolutely fucking nothing, and you can't deny that isn't wonderful, man. Like, we don't need every backup player to be a superstar. They can be a superstar in the making, and I really liked it. Gomez, let's go on to Gomez. I mean, Gomez looks good when he goes forward. Gomez looks like what Gomez is, unfortunately. He looks like a young player learning to play left-back who's an attacking midfielder, who is technically excellent. He's good at getting forward. He's got a nice cross on him. But defensively, he looked chaotic. I can't deny that. That spell where the ball ricocheted through the goal and he tried to head it wide and headed it off his own post, and then calamity ensued. It was funny. It was interesting. I felt a bit sorry for him, actually, because to play suddenly as Manchester City's left back when you've only been doing it for a year, and it's difficult for him, man. Maybe he'll take a bit of time, because right now I think Gomez is very much in the promising prospects, kind of category. He's not like a hot prospect or anything like that. He's just promising young player, But I'd also like to see him play a different position, maybe. I would take Zinni back over Gomez. Zinni is a much better player, But then Zinni wasn't much better when he first joined Man City either as a left back. So essentially, it feels like we've gone back to Zinni from about 4 years ago. We've gone backwards a little bit with Zinni, and he's gonna have to. We've got a young, rough Zinni again that's going to have to learn how to play in that role. The course difference is that Zinni was a little bit more comfortable with a build-up, maybe more in the inverted role, but Ortega will probably be more comfortable going out wide. But it is what it is. These backups, he's a backup and it's fine. And ultimately, look, they're probably going to be good enough to get us through to the final, these backups and so on. But I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy with the performance tonight. It wasn't like excellent, but it was good. It was solid, and we got through. Calvin Phillips coming back on as well. It was nice to see him. A couple of nice ping passes, a couple of ones that were slightly sloppy. But Calvin Phillips being back is a really, 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 really good bit of news, because Rodri was blowing out his arse in the second half. Rodri was tired, man. He was tired, and I do think there were signs there that we need Phillips back now, because Rodri can't play every game, and Rodri shouldn't be starting today, but he has to be, because once again, we've got players that we needed to rest ahead of Rodri, and Phillips wasn't available yet. But he is back now, and fingers crossed he will be. A nice rest for Haaland today as well, which was needed. Defensively, we were a bit over the show. Even Diaz and Laporte, I don't think either of them were particularly great, but it is what it is, man. It's fine. I think that sort of sums it up. But to me, that was entertaining. It was a fun game of football. Not a memorable one. if we're being honest. Nothing special. But it wasn't dull, at least, It wasn't dull. And the players were up for it, and they played some nice football. There were some terrible moments defensively. There were some fun moments defensively. There were some nice bits of skill. There was some nice little narratives. And of course, as well, statistically, I'll bring up the stats now over here. It was good, We did well. Look at that, 18 shots to their 15. They had some good shots, of course. 5 on target. Big man Ortega jumping about. More possession, more passes, pass accuracy up, and a few more fouls. But that's good. That's good news, That's good news, and I'm very happy about that. It was tit for tat, and we did really well there. Jump over to here. That's good. Look at that. Everton, Brentford, Leeds United, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, Palace, and Chelsea already out. So that's good. Liverpool went through tonight. The odds are good, We're looking like we could make it there. So some big teams out already. Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, United, of course, and Liverpool left from that. The Newcastle. I'm trying to think of teams that haven't gone out. Newcastle, United, Liverpool. Who else? I'm trying to think of teams that could probably challenge us. Villa aren't there, but I'm not nervous about Villa. Let me look at the Premier League table. Brighton are still in, of course, as well. Fulham are still in. Palace are out. Leicester City are still in as well. Then you got West Ham have gone out. Everton are still in. No, they've gone out as well. Yeah, so basically that's it. You've got a few teams there. You've got Newcastle, United, and Liverpool. But I fancy our chances, man. I fancy our chances against these teams. So we could be our year again. It could be our year again. It's good for Phillips as well, saying it was an amazing feeling to come back. There's been a doubt with my shoulder injury. Glad to be back out there and playing with the lads. Indeed, mate. Indeed. MK Dons. MK Dons here. Maybe we'll film them. They have indeed, Aaron Noonan, and congrats to the City Extra lads. They have indeed, They're wonderful at what they do, and I love Lewis and Jordan. They deserve it, man. They've done wonderful. They make great content. And they're under the City Extra brand. It's a fucking behemoth. They've got 500,000 on Twitter, man. I can't compete with that. And fair enough, man. But I'm happy for them. So, you know what? I'm the elder statesman of the City YouTube, and I'm fine with that, man. But they have overtaken me, They've got 2 people. They can work harder and longer than I can. That's fair enough. And they've got City Extra Twitter behind them. And fair fucks to them, man. They deserve it. They're very good at what they do. But that's life, and I'm happy with it. I've been doing this 6 years now. I'm pretty chill. And I knew one day someone was going to be, go get bigger than my channel, and that's all right. But as long as I'm here chatting to you guys, I'm happy, and that's all that matters to me. Look, I ain't going to complain, man. I get to work with a club that I love more often than not, So I'm loving my life at City. And I've got a son now, A son, it's going to tire me out, so I can't do as many videos as I like these days, but that is life. But Phillips being back's great news, thank you, Taylor. I try to be personalised. This is just my channel where I like to waffle to you guys. But yeah, it's good that Phillips is back. Calvin Phillips being back is, it's great news. We're gonna need him. Like tonight, that was a good performance. It was a fun performance. I must admit, I didn't get around to doing previews once again. Tired, baby. But I was a bit apprehensive, and I did expect us to mainly properly go out in this one. I do think. I had a feeling that we might go out, and that it might be a little bit of a struggle tonight, but I was wrong. And fair fucks. Alvarez and Ortega and Grealish looked me in the eye and they went, "Stephen, you're a fucking idiot." I just slapped myself on camera. There you go. And I am an idiot, so what do I know? And we come through. Cheers from Vancouver, Steve. I share the same birthday as little Ruben. Oh, nice, man. October 18th is indeed a vibe. Do you guys want me to introduce you to Ruben on a video? If so, I'll try and do it in the next couple of days. I'll introduce the future little Man City Academy player. You're meant to, AKB, and I will do if you want to. I'll bring him on for a video and we'll have a chat with him. We'll give us Ruben. I think he's been a bit aggro-y today. He's a bit aggy. He's a bit upset. So not tonight. He's been very temperamental today. I was down rocking him and I missed the start of the second half because I was trying to get him settled because he's Big Rubes he's a grumpy boy today. He's been good, but today he's grumpy. Big Rubes, man. He's been a bit grumpy tonight, but babies get that way, He's overtired. He's like that, trying to keep himself up and doing that and going, no, then starting crying. You're an idiot. Just sleep, you stupid little sack of meat. They're fucking idiots, babies. That's what I'm going to say. Babies are absolutely stupid. They lay there like that and they can't control their hands. And they gouge their own eyes and cry like, you're an idiot. Don't fucking do that. Babies for you. I love him though. One day he's going to see these videos. But one day he'll be playing for Manchester City, you know. He'll finally be the left back that City need. I'm going to start teaching him to be a left-footed player. And, you know, in about 18 years from now, he'll be, maybe what Haaland's for, yeah. He'll be Manchester City's left back. And there we go. Even if he's right-footed, I'm right-footed, but even if he's right-footed, he will be a left back, you know. I'll make him a left back, and he'll learn to be left-footed like Grealish did. And that's what's going to happen. But anyway, we are through. It was a good game of football. It was a fun game of football. I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought City might go out. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry, Aaron. No, Aaron. No offense taken, mate, whatsoever. I didn't actually take it as a dig. Don't worry, pal. It's all good. But yeah, I didn't expect City to go through tonight. I didn't, and I'm really happy about it. And I can't wait to do the 5 Things Learned video tomorrow. I think there's loads and loads to talk about. It really is. But guys, for now though, I'm gonna go there and see my wife, my baby. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you to all the patrons and all the members. You're all absolutely heroes. Please do hit the subscribe button. It does help support the channel. Let's get to 65,000 if we can. And of course, download OneFootball. It's massively appreciated, and I've just realised I definitely forgot to put that on screen there. Oh god, that's annoying, isn't it? That should did the OneFootball logo, you know, there. I don't know if it's going to count now. We'll see. Guys, you're all awesome. You're all wonderful. I don't know. Yeah, I think I've wasted integration. Sorry to OneFootball people if you're watching. It'll be fine. Guys, you're all wonderful. I love you loads. Catch you in a bit, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. And the lives, by the way, will be coming back a lot more regularly soon. We just wanted to settle into life a bit and the routine coming back. And I'm going to start doing the City Social as well. That's my planning board there, and I've started filling it out again. So I'm going to get guests come back on the channel again because I want to chat to, I don't know, Natalie again, or Asan, or maybe even the extra lads, or, you know, maybe Noisy, and maybe I'll try and get some special guests like Nadim again, or maybe Big Andy Morrison, or maybe Micah, you know, something like that. I'll try and get him on again, or maybe the GOAT or something. I'll try and do it, and it should be fun, especially during the World Cup. For now, though, you're all mint. Bye-bye. Like, comment, subscribe.